This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch. Hello, my name is Harry Tambuatco. Welcome to our program. Now, what are the important things? I keep saying it all has to be about federalism. But then again, the newspapers tell us otherwise, and the people as a whole say it is more important to find out where the drugs are taking us. Meanwhile, the church is coming back up, saying, hey, bad to drugs, bad to killing, whatever. All around the world, there are many issues going up. The populist presidents are coming on, whether they're the rightful ones or not. Our mandate have been given the mandate by the people. It's all about the concept of what we call democracy. Now, where does that go and what happens? America's having turmoil, obviously. Well, so does the United Kingdom and so do many other parts. But what are the priorities you and I have to look at? Ibig po sabihin yan, tayo po, kayong mga nanonood, ano ba dapat natin abalahan, pag-isipan, pag-usapan? Ako sinasabi ko parati, federalismo, kasi yan po mangyayari. But, as a whole, let's take a short break from that, because it's been 2 months I've been discussing this, which I will bring back next week. But meantime, let me bring you something equally important. I want to talk about our overseas foreign workers, our heroes. These people who actually bring in close to, 30 billion, if not more, to the country. Now, how important are they? Every single Filipino is somehow connected to an OFW. So in the studio, in this set, in this topic, we're going to talk about the OF Family Club, the OFW Family Club. Now, what is this club? What is it? What's it all about? Stay tuned and find out. With us, we have the president, the guy who's standing right in front of the OF Family Club. We have Roy Seneres Jr. Hi, Roy. Thanks for being here.
Hello, Harry. Thank you for having me here.
Ako naiiba ako kasi I used to sit in front of you, in front of your dad, who was the one in front of it, who became a representative after his ambassadorial stint all over Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, and then a congressman, and then, well, condolences, but he ran for presidency.
Yes,
diba?
he did, yes.
Iba rin ang tatay mo.
And you forgot to mention, he had more hair than me.
Di bale, swerte ka ngayon ng uso. Yan ang uso ngayon. Di ba? Yan ang uso ngayon. I mean, look at Miss Universe. Di ba? Going back, what is the OFW Family Club?
Yeah, we are an NGO, non-government organization, founded by my late father,
right?
Former Ambassador Roy V. Seneres.
Which he did over a period of 10, 12 years during his stint. Tinutulungan niya yung mga overseas Filipinos natin who are in the Middle East, which is really a bulk of them.
Yes. So this organization of ours was founded in 2001. So we are 17 years today.
Wow.
2000 rather. And our mission is to help distressed overseas Filipino workers. And our vision is to unite them, give them a strong voice under the umbrella or the banner of the OFW Family Club so that their pleas for help or grievances will rest assured be heard.
So in other words, if they don't get the right help from government, which sometimes can be, depending if they have weak ambassadors or mga CYA, cover your ass, mga no action, no do nothing, di ba, like the past president. Say nothing, do nothing, maybe you'll get away with it. But your club, the OFW, why is it called family and why particularly club?
Yes, because the overseas Filipino worker, in order to be one, it is indispensable that your family It's there to, you are part and parcel of
So
the family.
it's not just the person traveling
Yes.
that you put into your group, your association,
Yes,
your club,
yes.
but you consider who is left behind.
Yes, the welfare of the spouse, the children. So they form part of the wholeness of the overseas Filipino workers. So we have to also give value to their well-being.
Pero paano yan? Ang hirap kaya tulungan yan. Isa lang kumikita, isang umaalis, magtatrabaho. Eh, paano naman yung mga social services, mga natitira? Paano kung nagkakasakit? Tinutulungan nyo rin yung ganon. Ang bigat ata.
If it comes into
When necessary.
when necessary, we do what we need to do to look into it. But foremost, we wish the overseas Filipino worker the best of luck in his or her tenure abroad.
How is the plight, or what is the plight like now of our OFWs? Kamusta naman ang mga condition nila? Overall, you can't really say everybody, but more or less, kamusta naman ang patakaran? Okay naman so far?
Well, we have now, according to the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, we have now 10 million
10 million.
Filipinos sacrificing overseas. Singapore, our neighbor, has a total population of 6 million. United Arab Emirates, where my father served as ambassador, we were there, we lived there for 12 years, likewise has a total population of 6 million.
Imagine.
Here in our country, our beloved country, we have 10 million Filipinos. They are in a world by themselves. They are overseas sacrificing. Families are separated forcefully because of they have to seek greener pastures. The breadwinner has to hunt for food, not just outside the cave, but abroad on foreign soil. So they are now 10 million in number. So they are in the world by themselves. And yet, the protection that they ought to be receiving, it's it's still not there as it's supposed to
Is
be.
government at fault? Do you blame government?
I put quite a blame on the past administration, but not this one.
So you're so okay ka kay Duterte.
Yes,
You're seeing action, you're seeing development.
I do. I honestly do. I honestly do. During the campaign period, our president, vocally would be very vocal about his concern for, or his agenda for, our overseas Filipino workers, and we see it. We see it in him. He talked about making life easy for them in terms of their pre-departure requirements and all their needs.
Yeah, that's immediate, no?
And then when he took his oath, and immediately thereafter, the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration Office, the institution tasked to make sure that our OFWs are documented, he gave instructions to the Secretary of Labor to put a one-stop shop. There is now a one-stop shop in the POEA head office, and I was informed that the Dole Secretary is working seriously to make sure that this one-stop shop program is established or created in different localities where there's a high concentration of OFWs. This is just to make things life easier for them. Number two, I admire the action of the president with regard to the almost 10,000 stranded OFWs in Saudi Arabia.
I read about that.
They have been there for an average of 2-3 years.
Yes, I heard. They're living on the streets in tents.
Yes. And when the new administration came in, right there and then, Secretary Bello, Silvestre, the Honorable Secretary, personally visited the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And in effect, it sent a strong signal to the Foreign Ministry and the Ministry of Labor there that we are very serious in taking care of our countrymen. And having said that, he was able to, he rolled his sleeves up, and he was able to facilitate the repatriation of hundreds and thousands of our countrymen already. There's still some left behind.
Hindi kaya mahina dyan yung mga nakaupo sa gobyerno dun sa Saudi Arabia o sa Sila ang may
believe
problema.
so. I believe so.
Nagsasaya lang, looking the other way.
I think so. I strongly believe
Because if your dad was there, I don't think that would have happened at all. Hindi papayag yun eh.
my father was very hands-on during his time as ambassador in the United Arab Emirates, and when he was given the opportunity to represent our OFWs in Congress, his experience as ambassador, he laid it down and enacted the House bills in that regard. One of which, speaking of our ambassadors, is to require our ambassadors to act as the surrogate parents of our OFWs.
Tama yun.
Sila yung tatay o nanay eh.
Dapat.
I'll give you a very simple example. Kapag yung kababayan natin abroad, nagkasakit, o nagkaroon ng nadisgrasya at na ospital, dito sa atin, mas mabilis pa sa alas 4, pupuntahan natin yan, may dala tayong prutas. Pag nakatanggap tayo ng text, ay nako, si ate, si kuya, nasa punta tayo doon. Pag yung OFW doon sa Saudi Arabia, sa Abu Dhabi, sa Bahrain, sa Qatar, na aksidente, na ospital, asan si nanay andito?
Malayo.
Asan si tatay? Is here. So, our ambassador should be the one to personally go there to the hospital or in another setting, in the jail cell, or in the deportation centers, or in other detention facilities. Sila, dalahan mo ng bulaklak o ng sumadya ka dyan sa convenience store, bilbilhan mo ng pasalubong yan. You are the father, you are the mother of the OFW. Act like one.
Which brings me, case in point. Are you content with ambassador assigned to all these many countries where we have a concentration of OFWs? O may nakikita ka pa rin na maraming incompetent?
I work with a lot of them every day because of in our capacity as an NGO, we coordinate, we get in touch with them on behalf or to intercede for the OFW. And to answer your question, there are some that I believe that still needs a little bit of push. There's a lot of folks out there that are behind the desks. They're not very active on their feet to really make their presence felt in the eyes of the OFW, of the distressed OFW. But there are a lot of good ones. I admire a lot of good. There are those that are really compassionate. So there are some.
So if you're content with those that sit here in government and more or less content with those who have to look after them abroad, so the plight of our OFWs are in good hands to date. Too sweeping a statement.
Well, insofar as the new leadership in the realm of the DOLE and the DFA, particularly in the DOLE, we have a good leader. But insofar as the ambassadors and the other polo officials that were left behind, that are now continuing their tenure from the past administration, I think there ought to be a serious look in reshuffling them or something to that effect. But the good thing about this is the leadership, the secretary, is doing a pretty good job so far, based on my observation.
He's presently distracted because of the communists, the NDF,
Oh yes, that's the only thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, he's being pulled away from a situation with the DOLE, which really requires a lot of detailed work.
Yes,
correct?
plus the DOLE secretary, because the mandate of the DOLE is to protect our workers, local and overseas. So that's why he has to also, under him is the POA and the OWA. But we also have another serious thing here in the local front, which is the issue of contractualization.
Endo.
Yes. Now, the president, I admire him. I honestly admire him because he spoke about this during the campaign, and he issued an order in the through his alter ego in the DOLE to look into this, to do what's needed in order to
But that's a very sensitive issue because between industry and how do you say it, employment, many industries, for example, you can't keep on keeping workers once you finish the building or if you contracted a building. pag tinayo mo na yung building, ubos na yung kontrata.
Oh yes, those are project workers.
Project workers.
Yeah, so that's not
Pero nako-confuse ng marami si Endo, project workers.
Yes, those are project workers. They do
555,
yes,
di ba?
they do not fall in the
So
umbrella
pinag-usapan lang
of
natin yung mga
contractualization.
Shoemart, mga Landmark,
We are
mga
speaking of
Robinsons. Yan ang
of
madalas eh.
over 18 million of our workers
Imagine.
who work
18
in
million.
fast food chains.
Oh my gosh.
In gas stations.
Mga McDonald's,
in
555.
In malls, giant malls.
Giant malls.
You know, in
Awa-awa
textile
naman.
industries. Those are the contractuals that ought to be given security of tenure. After all, this is already in the Constitution. And it is given teeth by the enabling law or by the operating law in the labor code, which is 40 years old. Article 280, it says there that if the job of the worker is, I quote, Harry, necessary and desirable to the business of the employer, then that worker should be made permanent and regular.
Correct.
Written contracts to the contrary notwithstanding. That was the clause of the law. Meaning to say, the 555 or the
It's
contractual,
totally illegal.
it is without basis under the law and the Constitution. So
Alam
we
mo-
just need the president and the DOL secretary to put teeth to this. And in so doing, I believe the president should already sign an executive order in this regard,
Dire-diretso na.
directing the DOL secretary to make permanent all 18 million contractual workers. Because that's the law.
That's the law. Alam mo, you sound para ka abogado eh. Since you started it, I'd like to bring out that other thing. How come you're not the sitting congressman if there is an OFW party list? I find this very peculiar, and I find it, actually nabigla ako when you and I talked about it off air. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation where there is a sitting congressman that has no constituents. How did it happen? How was it even possible? The last sitting congressman and party list had 2 nominees. I knew both of them. How is it in this term, another party list is sitting? Is it possible we have a bogus congressman? Is it possible we have we already know the bogus COMELEC together with its partner, the Smartmatic. But is it possible our heroes, our OFWs, are not represented properly and brought about by a bogus person who says he represents them? Hindi kaya niloloko ang taong bayan? Tayo yun, di ba? Ako, ikaw. Before we ask Roy Seneres to answer this, stay put. We'll be right back and we'll give you those answers.